I expect us to lose most games, and we're a mess. So like, I was like, yeah, there's no real point in me doing a rant about Chelsea. But I wanted to talk about the situation because I've actually not spoken, besides obviously the Premier League reviews we do. I've not done an actual full video on Chelsea this season. So I wanted to do one, and as I said, I don't want to do a rant. I was like, you know what, let me come with some solutions. Let me tell you guys what I think we should do to fix the mess we are in. Because I'm tired of this. I am tired of this, and I want it over and done with. I want to get back to being a good footballing side. So this is what I think needs to happen at Chelsea in order to become a good footballing side. Now, I guarantee zero of this will actually happen, and we'll get into those reasons, but this is just what I think needs to happen. I would really, really love to hear your guys' thoughts, and you know, I say this like every video comment, but generally, I want to hear neutrals and Chelsea fans. I want this to be a discussion. What is the problem at Chelsea? Why are we so bad? And what needs to be done? Please put your comments down below. I want to hear neutrals' perspectives. Because I'm a Chelsea fan, I want to hear some outside perspectives, but I also want to hear fellow Chelsea fans. What do you guys think is the problem? How do we fix this? And, you know, Poch in, Poch out, all of that stuff. Anything to do with Chelsea, please put it in the comments. But enough with that. So the way this is going to work, I split into 3 sections. So first section is about transfers in the January window. Yeah, I know we need to make transfers. That's embarrassing, but move on. Then it's about Poch and what he needs to fix and the whole managerial situation in general. And then third, I'm going to say like the ideal lineup with those signings and give us sort of a full plan summary of what needs to happen. So let's start with the transfers. So we'll start with transfers in. Now, if we're going through the team and areas which need improving in the window, in the January window, so I think I'll tell you the areas which I don't think need improving. So centre back. Now centre back, they have been very dodgy. They have been dodgy, but I think we have enough. We have Badiashile, we have Cole, we have Disasi, we have Thiago Silva, we have Wesley Fofana when he's eventually back. I think we need to give them a chance. Like, they've not been good enough this season, but a lot of that is also due to another reason which I will get into. And I think we just have a lot of centre backs right now that we need to give them a chance. If we buy another one, that's just stockpiling. So I don't think we should sign one right now. Right back, I think Gusto Malagus is fine as long as he's fit. Maybe you could get a right backup or a backup because, you know, Reece James is meant to be the starting right back, but he's never fit and he's having surgery. He's out for months now. So I guess, you know, besides Gusto, we don't have another right back, which is a bit of a problem. However, it's not a priority. We have bigger, you know, fish to fry, if you like. Now, centre mid, we do need like a proper DM, like a proper sitter, a Rodri type. But with all the money we've spent on Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia, it's kind of like we have to eat our poison because we have to wait it out. Let's see also what Lavia can do. We haven't seen him in a shirt yet, so I wouldn't say go buy another midfielder before we've even seen what Lavia does in a Chelsea shirt. Wingers, now we do need goals, and this could do with some help, but with Nkunku now back, I'm presuming he'll play in the number 10, meaning Palmer can stay on the right, which means that I'm fine with that. The right wing's fine, and then Sterling or Mudryk on the left. Now, it's not ideal. Sterling though has shown moments. Mudryk is pretty trash, but again has shown moments, and we kind of just have to bank on Sterling turning up in the the second half of the season at Madrid doing something. But yeah, there's other priorities really. So, and it's also quite expensive to get a winger, so I don't think we'll be getting that. So, for positions left then, which I'm going to say we need to address in the January window, So, I'm going to say the ideal signing, and then I'm going to give an alternative option, okay? So, the ideal signing for the first position in need is striker. And the first one is Victor Osimhen. He's the ideal signing. Now, he is really the dream signing for Chelsea heading into the January window. And, I don't know how feasible it is, especially now he signed a new contract. But there is apparently a release clause in there. And Victor Osimhen has long been Chelsea's top striker target. Thanks to his stunning form over the last few seasons, he helped Napoli to a first Scudetto in over 3 decades last season, was the top scorer in the league. He's a fantastic striker who would likely instantly make Chelsea European qualification contenders in the second half of the season. And yeah, he would just be superb. I don't know how realistic it is with that release clause now, him signing a new deal and that. And it would cost a lot, but he would be the dream. Now the alternative option is Ivan Toney. So as I said, Osimhen will cost a hefty fee, so if a move for Osimhen doesn't pan out, we could look up the road at Ivan Toney of Brentford. Now despite his lengthy spell on the sideline due to a betting ban, we don't doubt he is one of the better forwards in the Premier League and is a Prem-proven goal scorer. Unlike Osimhen, you may have to take some time to settle in. Also, another thing for Osimhen is injuries, which have been a major issue, but Toney has barely missed any games through injury, so maybe Toney could even be a better fit than Osimhen, and he should cost a little bit less as well. So the next area of need is goalkeeper. I think needs upgrading. Robert Sanchez for me is not good enough. Now the ideal signing is Mike Maignan. Now with contract negotiations not going particularly well with AC Milan, one of the best goalkeepers in the world could be available in the January window. Now, as I said, Robert Sanchez has looked decent in some games, but has been very shaky in a lot. So an upgrade is definitely necessary. Sanchez is not a goalkeeper who will win you games with saves. Maignan is, and if the opportunity to sign Maignan presents itself, Chelsea would be stupid not to go all out to sign him, because he is fantastic. Now, alternative option could be Diogo Costa. Now, Costa has been linked with basically every big club in Europe since he broke onto the scene at Porto in 2019. And if you've seen him play, it's easy to see why. The Portugal international is a perfect modern goalkeeper who is equally as adept with the ball at his feet as he is with his hands. In fact, he is much better to Maignan in that aspect. Now, another wild card option could be Aaron Ramsdale, who will be looking for first team football. However, I highly doubt, unless Chelsea cough up some serious money, that Arsenal will sell him to us, so that's probably not going to happen. And the final area of need for me is left back. And the ideal signing is Alphonso Davies. Now, with Ben Chilwell constantly injured, Colwell is being forced out to left back. Cucurella is very limited. For me, Chelsea, we need a reliable, competent left back who can offer something going forward and going backwards. So the ideal signing is, of course, the best left back in the world. It makes perfect sense. Alphonso Davies is one of the very few fullbacks who can win you a game of football, and that's exactly what we need right now. Footballers who can win games of football. Now, I'm really in dreamland here. I don't think we can get him, but he would obviously be the ideal signing, and months left on his contract, maybe. No. Okay, the more realistic signing. The alternative option is Purvis Estupinan. Now, I know Chelsea fans, we don't want to go get another Brighton player, as we've been finessed by them way too many times now. But Estupinan, for me, I think would be a good addition. The Ecuadorian is an incredibly energetic fullback who excels in all phases of play. He's a fantastic dribbler and proved while playing in the Champions League with Villarreal that he can compete at the highest level, which is something, other Brighton players who have come to us haven't proven. He's proven that. He's been electric under De Zerbi, and this season he's shown his importance as he's been injured and Brighton have struggled without him. He can play as a wing back or an orthodox left back. He's fantastic going forward, really solid at the back as well. So I think he's a good option. Okay, now we're going to go on to sales, and then I'm going to say what I actually think who we should buy then. So, in terms of sales, Armando Broja, for me, is a sell. Now, Broja has shown glimpses of being a good Premier League striker, and I think he is a solid Prem striker. And I'm sure a lot of Prem teams would be interested in him. But for me, we need a proper striker who will score lots of goals, as I've mentioned. That's an area of need. And if we get in one with Jackson there as well, Broja will then become third choice. So I think we should sell him now, as I don't really see him being the future number 9, to be honest. At best, I think he'll always be a backup striker. I think we could get about 15 to 20 mil for him, if I'm being honest. I think a lot of Prem clubs would be interested. I think around 15 to 20 would be reasonable. Trevor Chalobah, he hasn't played a minute in the Prem, but this thing, I actually really rate Trevor Chalobah. I thought he was really good last season. Admittedly, he is much better in a back three, but in a back two, he's not that bad. And yeah, I'm quite sad for him. I think just for his sake, he really needs to leave because he needs first team football, and he's a really solid centre back as well. So yeah, he needs to leave. And again, I think probably about 15 to 20 mil should do it for Trevor Chalobah, considering he isn't playing. Ian Martin is a sell. Again, I really like Martin, but clearly Pochettino doesn't. He hasn't used him at all this season. So, I mean, we might as well get rid of him. He's just sitting there on the bench, not doing anything, not getting picked at all. So, what's the point in having him? So yeah, I would get rid of him. His contract's running down as well. I would say we got about 10 mil for him. And then Noni Madueke, for me, yet again, is a player I really like, but Poch just doesn't. He has barely featured at all. He's had some discipline issues as well. He's not been involved in squads, a couple injuries. Now, I wouldn't actually sell him, but a loan for me would be good. He has to get some regular minutes under his belt because he's not playing much at all. And that's if we can loan him, because I think we might be at our limit for loans. But anyway, that should raise about £45 million, meaning, for me, I think we can spend about a maximum, because we've got financial fair play, given no sales, I think we have a budget of about 120 million. Yeah, about 120 mil, so that's about like 70 mil of our own, and then 45 from the sales. So based on that and the suggestions, using that 120 mil, I would go and get, in January, Ivan Toney for 60 million. And then I would get Mike Maignan for 50 to 60 mil. Yeah, for me, I think we can just see out the left back till the summer. Hope Joel comes back fit. I think though, Ivan Toney and Mike Maignan, adding those two is fantastic. They are experienced, they are leaders. Maignan has proven at the elite level he's a winner. He's been there, done that. It's a huge upgrade at the back, a huge upgrade at the top. Toney, Prem proven, straight away. I think these two will massively help us straight away. And yeah, I think for those price tags, I think you could probably get them both for about 60 mil. Now, we move on to the manager situation. So for me, I'm keeping Poch, but that is only because there is nobody available. There's nobody else I see in the market who I would go, yeah, he would come in and he would 100% do a better job than Poch. And to be honest, if they sacked Poch tonight, I mean, I wouldn't be like, what the hell, is such a bad decision. I'd be like, okay, fine, you can't really complain, he's not done the best of jobs. I don't have 100% faith in him, but I still do have a bit of faith in Poch. Now, these are the stipulations, I guess, for me to keep Poch in charge. This is what I need to see from him in the second half of the season to warrant me to say, okay, fine, he is the guy to take us forward. So firstly, establish your centre-back pair. This is something I said we would touch on earlier. He needs to stop with the chopping and changing of centre-backs. He needs to make a pair, because it's really affected us. Our centre-backs have been really poor this season with individual errors and stuff, but a lot of that is because he keeps changing it every single game. 1 week is Thiago and Disasi, 1 week is Disasi and Managerial, 1 week is Cole or Thiago. It's just constant, and like all great teams have a pair they can rely on week in, week out. It's very clear who the pair are. Arsenal, Gabriel and Saliba. City, Diaz and Stones. Liverpool, Van Dijk and Matip when he's fit. We need to pick a pair and stick with it. I then want him to do a big one here. Stop picking players out of position. Please, please stop it. Colwell at left back needs to stop. Disasi at right back needs to stop. Cucurella at right back needs to stop. Chilwell at left wing needs to stop. Now look, I understand we have injuries, but if we don't have the players in the position, change the shape. Don't just shove somebody there. For example, if we don't have a right back, go to a back three. Don't just shove Cucurella there. If there's no left back, go to a back three. Don't just shove Colwell there. If we don't have all, Sterling available, don't just put Chilwell there because he stretches the play. No, just change the shape or something. So yeah, for me, look, it just messes up the whole thing, because the thing is, when you do this, it messes us up going forward. For example, Cole at left back and Disasi at right back has just been messing us up going forward because they don't support correctly. They don't know how to overlap, underlap the winger, how to support the winger, when to go, when to stay, and it's just horrible. And the build-up play is atrocious. He needs to stop that. Next thing, sort out the midfield. Similarly, stop playing Enzo and Gallagher in the wrong roles. Enzo Fernandez should not be playing as a number 10. Gallagher also should not be the deepest midfielder. Now, to be fair, Gallagher has been probably the best player under Poch and has actually done decent in that deeper role, but still, he needs to set the midfield up properly. Enzo, to be honest, I don't think he actually suits Poch's system, but if he doesn't suit him, don't just shove him in. Like, don't just play Enzo at the 10, he's horrible at that. Gallagher, as I said, should not be the deepest midfielder. There's been so many times this season where Gallagher's the one picking up the ball, progressing it up. Now, as I said, Gallagher's actually been better at that this season, but still, that's not his best role. His best role is a lot more up the pitch at the press setup, a bit of a box-to-box midfielder type who can progress that ball forward. And similarly with Enzo, Enzo's not a number 10, Enzo's also not the deepest midfielder. Enzo's much more of a central midfielder who occupies that central midfield area and is sort of the middle man between the number 10 and the DM. So please just sort out that midfield, and again, stop with the chopping and changing. Pick what midfield you want. Okay, next, establish a proper style. Now, I did actually see a style of play early on with Poch at the start of the season, but that has appeared to go out of the window recently. I really need to see a style from you, Poch, if you want to keep your job. Because the thing is, if results are not there, then at least you have a style. Otherwise, you're bringing nothing to the table, mate. Again, I understand you've had injuries causing you to have to change some things up, but be bold. If you have injuries, they shouldn't stop you from playing your way. You need to adapt and find solutions. If you don't have Chilwell, then play somebody there who can bomb forward. How you want Chilwell to do, don't just completely stop with that. If you don't have Nkunku, then play somebody else who can play as a second striker role. Don't just abandon that completely. He really needs to implement a style to win some fans over for me. And finally, I know it's a lot, but he needs to sort his subs out. Now, as of writing this, we won 18 games into the Premier League campaign, and our substitutes have provided 1 goal involvement all season. That was Nicholas Jackson scoring a not consolation, but a meaningless goal versus Burnley. And besides that, none of Pochettino's 59 subs in the league have provided a single goal or an assist. And to put that in context, Brighton subs have scored 10 and assisted 3. Arsenal have scored 8. Even Fulham subs this season have 5 goals and 5 assists. Now, Poch was notoriously bad with subs at Spurs, but so far has been abysmal at Chelsea. Now, granted, sometimes it's not his fault, as he's bringing on players like Madrid who do nothing, but still, he needs to start making subs that will actually impact games and make a difference, because it's annoying me now. Right, so Poch clearly has a lot of issues, but here's the final part. So this is the ideal Chelsea for the second half of the season for me. So, in terms of a lineup, the goalkeeper is Mike Maignan. Right back is Malo Gusto. Centre backs for me is Disasi and Badiashile. For me, this is a proven partnership. They were a partnership at Monaco, and they're fairly experienced. When they have played together a couple times this season, they also look really good. They're really big in the air, so they can deal with those aerial threats. I think this is the best partnership we have. To be fair, I think Colwell-Badiashile might be the best partnership, but I don't think 2 left-footed centre-backs really works. So I would go Disasi, Badiashile. Left back for me is Chilwell if he's fit, if not Cucurella. Midfield, now this is where it gets a bit controversial, if you like. So for me, Caicedo's definitely in there. And then I'm having Lavia when fit, for me, is in there. Depending on how he looks, of course. If he doesn't look great, then I would have either Gallagher or Enzo Fernandez in there. But for me, Enzo Fernandez doesn't really work in a double pivot, so for me, Enzo's not in this team. And Conor Gallagher, to be fair, he has looked decent in a double pivot, but as I said before, I don't think that's his strongest point, so for me, he's not in this team. I think Lavia and Caicedo is the natural fit for that position. And I would give it a go when they're both fit to see how it does. Because in the number 10 position, it's Nkunku. It has to be for me. Right wing, definitely Cole Palmer. Left wing, for me, I would go Sterling instead of Madrid. And then striker would be Ivan Toney. Now, you could slightly adjust, like you could go Nkunku left wing. And then put Gallagher at number 10. And yeah, like that, but I think Nkunku's best position is number 10, and I want to see him at the 10, I want to see Palmer at the right, and yeah, I think that would be okay. So that's the lineup. We would get rid of Broja, get rid of Ian Martin, get rid of Chalobah, and Noni Madueke, and I would give Pochettino some time, results don't improve, and it gets to a state where it's untenable. But now instead of getting rid of him, getting an interim, definitely not Lampard, get an interim to the end of the season. As I said, there's not really many managers available, and then in the summer we just have to go again. But I also want to see the board. The board need a change in mentality. They need to recognise where they have gone wrong. Their recruitment was wrong. We need to buy experience. We've signed too many youngsters. Potentially change the directors of football, because I don't know if the owners have told them to go for this model or this is their decision, but it's completely wrong, and we must make sure we do not sign any more young players. We must make sure. But yeah, that is how I think Chelsea should be fixed in January. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see